In the previous car example, the definition of the methods move forward, move backward, and make turn simply print out a message on the screen about what the methods are supposed to do, instead of performing any real action. Now that we have learned about color image objects, let's try to modify the program so that it can perform something interesting. We are giving this class a new name, Car2. We still have an instant variable for storing the owner's information as before. What we want to do is to use some pictures of car to represent different instances of the car object. So here, instead of using just one instance variable owner, we also have another instant variable, which is of type color image, a kind of canvas object that we just talked about. And let's initialize the default car image to car1. In addition, we want car2 to capture some useful properties about the cars in this class. People nowadays like to buy environmentally friendly cars. One useful piece of information is gas mileage or gas efficiency. An instant variable, gas mileage of double type, is declared for this purpose, and it is assumed that the value represents the amount of gas in liters used for every 100 km. We can easily change these to miles per gallon if you want. Lastly, we want to know how much gas is remaining in the tank. While the previous fields are relatively stable, this amount often changes from time to time and is different for different instances of cars. These collections of instant variables give an abstraction of a car object in terms of its owner, its appearance, its gas efficiency, and an internal state of amount of gas in tank. Every time when a car object is created, memory space needs to be allocated for storing all this information. The diagram here illustrates what kind of information is needed in representing an object in Car2. Let's take a look at the constructors for the Car2 objects. The first constructor is the same as before, except that the name of the constructor is now Car2 instead of just car, since the name of the class is Car2. The constructor that has no parameter simply use all the default settings. I want to point out that if no constructor is defined within a class, Java will provide a default constructor for the class from its superclass. But if some constructor is already defined, Java would not allow the use of the default constructor without explicitly defining it. Similar to the second constructor in the previous example, the second constructor here has one parameter with string type. The first statement in the body of the constructor is the same as before, which changes the owner to the value specified by the parameter name of owner. A second statement is added here, which changes car image to a new image. The keyword new here indicates that it is creating a new object with type color image. Since no parameter is provided for color image, the user will be asked to select an existing image from a folder. A third constructor is being declared here. Since the gas mileage may change as the car gets old, in order not to mislead a customer who is buying a used car, the constructor will allow the gas mileage to be modified. This constructor takes two parameters, one in string type, the other is double. In addition to what is done in the second constructor, the value of the instant variable gas mileage is changed to the new gas mileage when a new Car2 object is created using this constructor. Let's now look at the methods for Car2. We have methods move forward, move backward, and make turn before, and they simply print out a message on the screen about what the methods are supposed to do. This is what we had before for the move forward method. Instead of just printing out a message, the modified method will actually move the car on the canvas from its current position to this units forward. The current position is obtained from the getX method for the object car image using the dot operator, and the distance this is specified as a parameter. Since moving a car will use up some gas, the amount of gas in tank needs to be updated. We first compute the amount of gas consumed for this move by dividing the distance moved, that is the value of the variable this, by gas mileage. Assuming that The unit of this is in kilometer. Since gas mileage is provided as liters per 100 kilometers, we need to divide the result by 100. The amount of gas remaining in tank can now be updated by subtracting gas used from the value of gas in tank. The resulting computation is output to the console. Notice that the parameter disk can take on both positive as well as negative values. So in a way, the method has taken care of both moving forward as well as moving backward when the distance is negative. Instead of just printing out a message on console, the definition of make turn will change the orientation of the car object as specified by the parameter angle when it's displayed on the canvas. The current orientation is obtained from the get rotation method for the object car image using the dot operator. Since we have used up some gas, a method is added here so that we can replenish the gas tank. Let's call this method add gas. An initial design of the method could look something like this. If we want to replenish an amount of gas that has just been used, remember that we had computed gas used before in the move forward method. The statement inside the add gas method will add the value of gas used to gas in tank and then assign the result back to the variable gas in tank. Do you think this will work? What you'll find is that the compiler will give you an error message, cannot find symbol variable gas used. Why is this the case? This is because there is a very important concept on scopes of variables that we have not yet discussed. Basically, the scope of a variable is the block of code where a variable can be used. In the case of gas used, it's called a local variable and is only meaningful within the move forward method. So any reference to it outside move forward will cause an error. If you think about it, move forward could be called many times. The variable gas used is used only as a temporary storage for a particular trip, and it will take on different values for other trips. In a way, it is just a short-term memory. We will come back to the scope rules in details in the next lecture. Let's now just change the method add gas to a method with one parameter, gas to add, which gives the amount of gas to be added, and the statement inside the add gas method will update gas in gas tank accordingly.